Oh, Grizz, we're live already.
Yo!
Welcome back. What's going on? This is episode 280 of the Bad Taste Video Podcast. I'm Mike. I'm here with the, oh man, I don't even know what to call you this week. I wanted to say something, but it's pretty vulgar, but I won't. But I'm here with my man, Grizz. Tonight has been rife with technical difficulties and electronic conundrums. One being us. We have clips in the wrong place. I'm like putting the shit in as we're like setting up. Now I just start the stream pretty much as soon as we got on. So good thing that we weren't doing
right
anything
when we attended. You mean? I mean, right at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, right at 9 o'clock for once. But we are here with another vampire film to round out the month of November. Something not American, not European, not Japanese. We're going back to Australia. Something we don't do. We don't do it too often, but every time we do, it's always fucking awesome. But Grizz, let's hit that intro and get into this week's movie. That's some fucking jam, man. Jeez. The wicked whoop whoop. Brendan Timmons, what's going on, man? Happy Tuesday. If you're listening to this through the podcast, happy Thursday, I guess, depending where you're listening to. Technically, you might be able to listen to it on Wednesday. But
shout out to you, William Blasco. I appreciate the shout out here, dude, and definitely listen tomorrow because this is going to be a fun episode, man.
Yeah, for sure. Any relation to the Rob Zombie bass player? Grizz wants to know. I doubt it because I think he made that name up, but still, not you,
this is
William,
legit
not
Blasco.
You. Yeah, this is the real one. This is the real one. But Grizz, before we get into this week's movie, I got to make a fucking confession, man. Something pretty bad.
Dude.
As you know, I've been into some certain things in my past.
We're going to talk about this? Okay. All right.
You know, stuff when I was younger, addictive.
Yeah, we grow. We change.
Yeah. But unfortunately, I relapsed. I'm fucking really embarrassed. But unfortunately, man, I bought some Magic the Gathering cards again.
All the money we spent on rehab, dude.
The cardboard crack has hit me again. Unfortunately,
retro release video in the fucking chat. What up, Big Sexy? How we doing tonight, dude?
Grizz, one thing I got to say, man, when I was originally playing, probably bought my last pack in like 1999 or like, you know, I was very young. Unfortunately, all that shit is worth money now and they are long gone. So that's extremely unfortunate for myself, but the game has changed immensely in fucking 20 years. Oh no, Viano. This is pretty fucking dark, dude. This is pretty fucking dark. The game has changed immensely. Things
like the actual, like the way the game, the Magic the Gathering is played.
So like
the actual card game.
So with each, have you ever played, like when you were younger, Pokemon or something like that? Or even,
no.
like never ever played anything like that?
I owned Magic the Gathering cards because my uncle gave me them, and they had boobs, and I was
So
like,
you've at least seen them before. You've seen what cards
I've
look
never-
like. You've never played. You don't even need to actually play to understand this.
But I know I know the cards have to get the little stories, some fucking numbers that mean nothing to me on there.
Exactly.
And shit,
so those
you know?
numbers that mean nothing, there's different abilities and all this stuff. And as the sets and expansions go on throughout the years, they add certain like game mechanics and stuff, things that like you couldn't do back then. Like they weren't part of the game at all. They weren't cards that you could throw down. If that makes sense.
Some kind of ogre to a bog to a some kind of shit, I imagine.
Yeah. Well, like more so like back then you could only punch, and now you could like shoot a gun too. That's not
nice.
actually
Okay.
that's not actually an example, but
To say that'd be dope. They got guns and Magic the Gathering now, bro. That's
so now, dude,
modernize that shit.
So now half the thing with Magic is that like you have to know the cards. You have to know what's out there, and that allows you to build your deck. So I missed out on 20 years of this shit. It is thousands.
You got a weak deck, is what you're saying. Your deck is like subpar compared to everybody else's deck.
I don't even have a deck yet.
You have your deck is probably small, and it's probably like not very useful.
Lackluster deck right now.
Dude, I'm so saddened by this.
Small right now. Not really,
Think big, bro. I mean, you can only go up from here,
But
it only gets bigger.
Exactly, man. It only gets bigger. It only gets better, just like us. I will keep you updated, though, on my Magic the Gathering journey. If you play and you listen to us, hit me up. I want to talk. I need a sounding board for people that are actively in the community.
I don't need any fucking nerds bothering me, so don't fucking talk to me.
Don't bother Grizz.
Mike,
don't bother.
He is all about this shit.
Yeah. So I thought I would start the show with that depressing thought for. I mean, if you've been there, you know how this shit goes. But Grizz, this week's movie, The Wicked, aka Outback Vampires, aka something else. This was a fucking TV movie in Australia. Can you fucking believe it?
Dude, how much fun did you have with this, man?
All right. So
ridiculous.
I've seen this tape for years. I probably own this shit, but I didn't look through my stuff because, as you've seen, it's just going to be impossible.
If you did, it would be like a second layer tape. You'd be having to pull shit off of the front of the fucking shelves to look what's behind it.
Exactly.
That's where it's going to be.
Exactly. Man. Viano Films. I don't think I'm going to be able to beat that dude, aka Outback Steakhouse. STA.
Why is that not the name of this, dude?
Damn. But
oh my god.
So this movie, I've seen this cover before. I've heard of the name. Never heard anybody talk about it. Once I spoke to EK about it because of the episode. It was today I spoke to him about it. He said, yeah, man, I owned this movie like a couple times, got rid of it a couple times. I have no idea why. It has as you'll see, a metal/rock band in it. So technically you could call it, a rock movie, sort of. The soundtrack is pretty it's pretty, I guess, like not your typical horror movie soundtrack.
No, dude. It's straight. The whole thing isn't like your typical. This isn't like really like a typical horror movie in any sense of it. Like this to me is like, it has a major like Rocky Horror vibe without the abundance of songs. You know what I mean? Like there's some music that goes along with this, but I mean like Rocky Horror is like heavy, but it has that like strange weirdness to it, man. And like this family that we're gonna get into, man, like everything about it is just like I've come to realize I love movies about weird, desolate families that like have people like strangers coming in, because dude, I said to you, this is like fucking Nothing But Trouble.
Yeah, exactly. Where everybody's
so
involved in some sort of way.
Story.
Yeah. Another movie that this reminded me of was Dead In. That was another one that this like fucking just the way it's shot, the way it looks. It is from Australia, so it's got that like they all have this similar vibe to them or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. It's like there was a smog over there at the time. There is one dude, the guy that plays Bronco. He was in Dead End Drive-In. I couldn't.
I love that name. Bronco is
Bronco?
one of the best names ever.
Dude, what
If I
does
ever had a child by the stupid circumstance that I would ever to be real in this life, I want to name that little motherfucker Bronco, man. That
dude,
is a power name.
what does the girl call him?
Oh, I don't know.
She's like
dude.
Big Dick Muscle Bronco or something like that. Like,
it's a power name.
yeah,
What can I say?
I don't know, but he's like a scrawny dude. That's what I kind of find funny about it. He's not like some big fucking like jacked ass motherfucker.
Well, all right. Do we want to give a little synopsis here of what went down with this movie?
Yeah,
You want to go
sure.
for it this week?
Yeah, this group of people, well, it's actually two guys and a girl who just come together by circumstance, end up getting stranded, quote unquote, in the Outback region of Australia, where they happen upon a family of vampires that are quite a bunch of characters, not necessarily like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre situation, more so the Addams family than anything.
Yeah, like
But this is like your typical, like, people get stranded in the middle of nowhere and the only help they have is this fucking fucked up hillbilly family living on their own, doing weird shit.
This is a TV movie, dude. That's what blows my mind. That like this is so good for being a fucking a low budget Australian, made for television fucking movie. It has no business being as fun as it is, man.
So this movie is from 1987. By the time 1987 rolled around in America, like the very mainstream horror shit was starting to get hosed down by like the censorship board and all that shit. They were like, really, the MPAA was just fucking kicking ass at that time. And for this to be shown on TV, now I'm not sure, was this shown on like, the equivalent of Showtime, HBO, Cinemax type shit? Maybe.
Or
like
ABC, what is it, like a network fucking, type of thing,
Because like when I think of like a scary like TV movie, I think of like Salem's Lot. I think of like It. You know what I mean? Something like that, where this feels more like some shit you would rent at the video store for fucking 50 cents for the week rental. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have that TV movie feel, and it's really fucking strange that it's not. I'm not going to say more popular, because you know how this shit always goes, but I feel like if more people gave it a chance, this would be one of those ones where people are like, yeah, we need like a new release of this and all that shit.
For real though, like it does. I would love to see a little bit of a cleaned up, version or whatever. But as you watch this movie, it kind of like just keeps pulling up different other movies that it keeps reminding you of. Like there's parts of this movie that remind me of Demon so much, or not Demon. Excuse me. House of what is it? The one with fucking Linnea Quigley.
Night of the Demons.
Yeah, Night of the Demons. Like it reminds me of that at certain points, like that, like the way the daughter of this family acts and everything, and like her mannerisms are. It's very like similar to those movies, and as you go through it, you're just being like, man, they did such a good job of like, conjuring up this weird fucking story, and like, man, I'm being such a big fan of Nothing of Trouble. I'm bringing it up again, but like, it really is like a vampire version of that. The house that they end up in has like booby traps and shit like that, and slides that like end them up in different spots and cages and shit. It's cool as fuck, man. What I also love is the beginning of this movie, how we end up with these two rodeo guys, Bronco and what the fuck is the other dude's name? But
it's like Nick or whatever.
They're like these complete fucking bogans, and like if you know anything about Australian culture, that's like they're just like complete like not into like mainstream society dudes. Like these dudes like ride rodeo bulls and shit like that. They live a wild lifestyle, and they're out in their Cadillac or whatever it is. It's
no windshield.
Convertible. Yeah, no windshield, just fucking cruising, man. And they run into this, hitchhiker that they end up picking up. And they end up like, cruising down the road, and they get to this fucking booby trap, man. And that is how this whole movie kicks off. And I'm immediately like, all right, I'm already in. There's a cool fucking setup here with these three strangers that are now together and shit. Booby trap in the road. We got a footage of the booby trap here.
Hold on, let me pull that one up. We got a bunch of clips for you guys this
these are
this
good
week.
ones this week too.
I'm interested. Sure.
Look at his fucking that Outback hat. The fucking what's that guy's name? Paul Logan? Paul Hogan? It was Crocodile
Paul
Dundee.
Hogan.
What do they call the act?
wasn't an act.
So that's a fuck that. We'll talk about that after this clip.
Yeah.
So the thing that is like gonna booby trap them looks like a fucking land anchor, but like flipped
does.
upside down. Look at that thing.
Oh, this good.
Yep, just stops them in their tracks. Guy go. Oh wait, does he go through the windshield? Actually, is that what that's supposed to be?
There's no windshield.
I heard like a glass sound, but I think her name is Lucy. She says that like they asked her like, oh, how'd you like learn how to throw a knife? It's like, oh, my dad used to throw knives at my mom. I used to catch them and throw them back. And he's like, oh, what was the name of the act? She's like, it wasn't an act. It's like,
This is how we lived.
that's fucking dark. That's dark. But like you see here that like it's gonna be like a goofy movie. You probably definitely like this because it has that like Peter Jackson twist to it.
Yeah,
You'll see there's this like crow that fucking follows people around and all that shit throughout the whole movie, and it does all this wacky shit. Very similar to the seagull in Bad Taste. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, and I feel like this
I kept
movie.
thinking that was another comparison I was making. I was like, dude,
Yeah.
this feels like Peter Jackson's work. It's not as gory, obviously, not nowhere near, but it just the same like comedic sensibility that you would find in his work.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm not sure. Like, is this all, inspired by movies in the past or whatever? But like this fucking movie just manages to put like really dark humor in with like other goofy type shit, but it somehow doesn't come off as like a kid's movie. It still comes across as like a pretty like fucked up movie. Right? Like
I mean, but at the same time, lighthearted enough to be enjoyed by like honestly, like you could put this on for your aunt who doesn't get into fucking horror movies that much, and I bet you she'd have a good time watching it because there's like a lot to like about it. The family is like, yeah, they're vampire cannibals, but they're also like these outrageous characters. Like each member of the family is extreme in their own way, and when we start meeting all of them, the ride just fucking takes off with this one.
Yeah, let's actually show a clip of Sir Alfred, who is, I guess, like the head, like the patriarch of the family, right? He kind of runs everything. But you'll see it's like very Frankenfurter when he first meets these people when they, show up to the house.
You must be Nick. You must be Lucy.
He's like dressed like the typical Dracula,
You
right?
must be.
They all like hate Bronco.
I'm so glad you could all make it. Usually our audiences are pretty dead.
It's George.
But seriously, folks, welcome to the Terminus Estate.
The Terminus Estate.
Estate.
That's cool, man.
So fucking.
That's a good band
It's
name.
so weird. It's like this just giant house in the middle of fucking nowhere in the Outback.
Yeah.
It's just and dude, like, okay. So the cool premise of this movie that I really liked is that there's this town of town folk that all know that these vampires have this place, and it's up to them to lure passerbys into this area.
Yeah.
For them to go to Terminus Estate, and then the vampires can
They
have
leave
their
them.
way with
They
together.
leave them alone if they just kind of feed people to them.
And dude, those town people were my absolute favorite. The one like mayor guy has like a garlic fucking like necklace he's wearing the whole time and shit. And they're just like they're the most outrageous, like kind of dim-witted, like drunks and shit like that. So like you mentioned the bird, man. This is our first introduction that we get to these town people is this fucking bird scene.
Yeah, they're messing around with the bird, right?
I wouldn't mess with this bird. I'll tell you
on,
that
you
much.
dogs. The light's almost gone.
That's the bird. I guess we should mention the bird is attacking his neck. It's actually a vampire bird,
Right.
which is
It's so good, dude.
which is an insanely funny thing that like happens throughout the movie. But this bird is almost like, I guess, kind of like a familiar almost to
Works for the
Count
family,
Alfred.
right?
Yeah. He's like kind of
Yeah.
lurking in the distance. You see him when they can't catch up to them later in the movie. You see the bird kind of keeping track of them. But I really do like the idea that like it's not just a regular crow or a raven, whatever. It's a fucking, it's a vampire also. Like it's going for blood, and you can see like the guy keeps getting attacked by it. Yeah, it looks like he got attacked before, like on the other side.
He's fucked with that bird a few times, dude.
But that's the type of comedy that they do throughout it. And like you hear these guys talking, they all look like fucking living corpses, right? Like they're all like pale looking, and like the light is very bluish too. So it kind of gives them this weird aura, and it's a funny like a subplot where like it's kind of weighing heavily on them as a town that they have to keep doing this. Like they don't really want to do it. You know, they're kind of sick of it, but they have no choice at this point. And that like leads to some contention later in the movie. But like the townspeople, just what a gaggle of ghouls, right? They're all kind of fucking strange. The guy that's the train conductor, the guy that works at the train station, he's like a fucking maniac too.
Insane, dude. Yes, I love that guy. Him just like arguing with them about like when the train was coming and shit like that.
Yeah, he's like, no.
And the weirdest thing about like this whole thing was that like they get into this town from the booby trap there. The townspeople have them all ready to go, and then this German person, this like blonde German, was it a woman or a man? In that black car, like comes to pick them up to take them to Terminus Estates.
Oh, that was
and
a
they
dude.
had like it was Alfred.
No. I think it was a different guy.
No, I was gonna say because it was like a German dude. He had like the thickest German accent, and I was like, "Who the fuck is this dude in the middle of the Outback?"
Yeah,
each character is just like that weird and out of place, honestly, because like all the family don't have like. You know, I think only the daughter has an Australian accent. I know because Alfred has like an English one and shit like that. And I loved how each of the family members start like picking off the family or they like
pair off with them. Yeah,
like George wants to fucking Lucy, so he starts like making her dance and stuff like that. And then like dude, the mom going after Nick in the shower scene was like just so like every scene is just. So filled with just like great comedic timing, amazing dialogue that's like just funny at its core. Like the interactions between all of these people are just so they feel genuinely weird and like so uncomfortable, and that's what really works with this movie.
Yeah, like when Bronco's talking to the daughter and like they're having like the awkward like sex conversation.
She's like coming at him and he's getting drunk too, which is like the best part because like right away, Bronco gets shit-faced in this house.
1,000-year-old Russian vodka or whatever
drunk.
He said.
Yeah, he's drunk for like the whole rest of the fucking movie.
So this is the daughter and Bronco.
So, you know how to do sex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what a woman needs.
I'm just shaking my head right now.
Music.
Dude, even this scene is like a Peter Jackson scene, man. It's just so like the dialogue, like his response of like being nervous and like being like, "Oh no, we need some music,"
and
which sets up another amazing.
I was gonna say, what's the music, man?
Dude, so after this scene, like she's like, "Oh, we need some fucking music," and then like out of nowhere, this like hair metal band shows up and like basically shoots a music video for that fucking song.
Sounds pretty
like,
good
she's
too.
Like, dude, it's dated and whatever like that, but man, like for this like made for TV movie, this is fucking phenomenal. Like everything about this is done so well, man.
And guess what? We're gonna know who this band is once we get the copyright strike.
I forgot about that.
I feel like I'm in the Lost Boys right now.
Oh yeah, the other little skeletons. Rocco's wasted.
Yeah. You should start wearing the bandana like that.
I like that, dude. It's a good look.
They both have it. Look, he's got Is there like blood all over the wall? Yeah, look, there's blood all over the sheet. He ends up getting into quite the situation later on because of that. We get some more fucking hilarious dialogue, but what like an odd scene. Like that's how you see it's like very supernatural too. It's not just like a straight vampire film. It like really leans into like people doing like odd things and things appearing out of nowhere, which we see like when Count Alfred finally kind of knows what's up. Well, the people know what's up at that point, that they're gonna eat them basically.
Yeah, so that's another part of this, is that like they're vampires, but like they're also cannibals. Like
yeah,
they
they're eating
legitimately like have like a factory to like make fucking
this
people
weird-
into like meat and shit.
Yeah. But like there's one point where he has them like trapped in a room, and they have like this awesome effect where he's on the wall. You obviously will see how it's done, but she's like, "How'd you get up there?" So like you see,
Dude,
like
it's Bronco's line, and this is the only reason why I pulled this clip, is because of the way fucking Bronco says this to him when he's on the wall. It's the funniest shit.
he's standing on like a bookshelf right now.
How did you get up there? It's like the fucking best shit. Dude.
There's like a really cool thing though where he like stands up on the wall and he starts like tap dancing.
He might be an arsehole, but boy, he's got style.
We're gonna beat the paint on the shoes on his feet. Don't get
What an awesome idea though. This is almost like Beetlejuice like. You know what I mean? Like
Another one
something.
you could compare it to for sure.
But I just love how they really lean into like there's pretty much no rules. Right? There's no like earthly rules in this fucking house. This guy's dancing on the fucking walls. There's fucking rock bands coming out of the walls. There's all sorts of shit going on. And these people are kind of just caught in the middle, right? As per usual.
Yeah, and they all are like all the other family members, like I said, they all have like this weird sexual thing going on where they are trying to like lure each one of these individuals. And like, dude, especially like the old woman and Nick is like I said, the weirdest fucking interaction. And I love when, they finally have like those two clash, and like he has to fucking, kill the old lady and stuff like that, because they have to basically battle their way out of this house. That's the only way they're going to survive.
Yeah. So this is when Nick pretty much has to finally show down with one of the members of the family, and he kind of dispatches. He kills her pretty fucking easily, but it's a pretty good scene.
Oh yeah, this is good.
So she lunges at him, and he stakes her through the chest, I guess. But she fucking starts like melting. Not really goo, it's like blood. But she's like overacting the shit out of this. She's like making all these fucking faces. Music's pretty good. Matthew Jason Walsh sounding
dramatic.
shit.
It's nice, man.
But like she like stops and is like, do we have no, we don't have it in the clip. She stops and goes,
I didn't have enough time.
before you go, can you make sure you clean up? I'd hate to leave a dirty kitchen. It's like, Jesus Christ. They have to have that
and
like one liner at the end.
And going back to what you were saying about there's already been established that there's no rules in this household, because right before he stabs her, the mother actually turns into the
Count
fucking
Alfred,
what's
yeah.
his name? Yeah,
Sir Alfred.
Count Alfred,
Sir Alfred.
Sir
sorry.
Alfred, yeah. And is like, fucking in the drag and everything, like on the fucking wall, like speaking through her and shit, and it's wild. And then he transforms back into the mom when she gets stabbed and stuff. It's so well played, man. It's just this no reality, just wackiness, but like contained so well in this story at the same time.
There's another good like supernatural scene with our townsfolk in the local towny bar. That's like another fucking great scene. We have that clip here. Basically, Sir Alfred can do whatever the fuck he wants, and he has like complete control over this whole town, like physically also, right?
And they're terrified of this motherfucker. And like this scene will kind of give you that like, understanding of why they are so afraid of this family.
So there's like an unearthly wind going on inside this bar, and there's shit just flying around. This guy gets a fucking road sign right through the skull.
This lady gets it with the pool stick though. This is my favorite.
Yeah, the woman gets impaled right through the chest with a pool cue. Her bottles are breaking and shit.
This is definitely one of my favorite scenes in the movie. Was like the chaos in that bar that unfolds.
Yeah, like this is because everybody's kind of finally had enough, right? They start to like listen to the people. Like, no, we got to get rid of them. Like this is just not working out anymore. And Sir Alfred will not allow it. Right, he is by any means necessary going to either kill these people or keep them under his control. But that's like an awesome scene too, where he just kind of makes everything in the room start like flying off the walls, flying around the room. The bottles are breaking, the pool table's moving, like the tables are fucking falling over and shit. But it's done in such a good way with such like a low budget. Like they destroyed this room. Like they fucked this thing up. And it just looks so good for what's going on. Like the impalings.
Shot and everything.
Yeah,
like shooting chaos like that is not easy, man.
The impalings look good. You don't see it like necessarily like, you know, it's not like a fucking American guinea pig movie, but like it's done in a way where you're not like, oh man, like I wish they would have just showed it. Like it's acceptable. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't have to see everything. Like this has other shit going for it.
For the vibe of this movie, like it fits perfectly. Like there is no other scene of like intense gore. It would be out of place, you know, to see something like that here. This is the exact amount that goes within the reality of the world that we've already been put into. And dude, I can't get over just like the interactions with the family and stuff like that. Like they are such a like this wacky bunch, but it's also like very believable. Like for some reason, this like they seem like a real family of like misfits.
It's kind of strange, right? And the guy George, I kept thinking he was the dude from Dead End Driving, but he's not. But he looks like the one like. The one like goon that's with that main group of people. His like, what would you call it? His like area of the house. He kind of runs like the processing
meat factory.
Yeah, the processing, I guess. Yeah, but like he gives our main woman Lucy like the opportunity to like either be with me forever or I'm gonna have to fucking kill you. And she obviously
I'm going to eat you.
Yeah. She obviously doesn't want to be with him. So she ends up on like this giant like conveyor belt that's going to these comically large table saw looking blades. Like fucking just
hitting the pendulum looking fucking thing, dude.
Yeah. So thankfully Nick and I think Nick and Bronco are both in this scene. Right? I think Bronco also shows up here. Yeah. And they save her from this giant conveyor belt of death. But they
cover him in the hot oil.
Yeah, they cover him in oil, and he ends up getting lit on fire. And that burn is awesome because once he goes up, they do like a shot.
He runs.
Yeah, he runs. Yeah. And they do like it once, you know, another couple seconds into the clip, it's like a further away shot. And this dude is still on fire, just running down this factory floor.
He falls and continues to burn for a minute too, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's a good length.
They really like picked and chose like what was worth really like putting the money into, I guess, with effects and what they could do. And I feel like I definitely wasn't expecting this dude to fucking just go on fire. I thought it was going to be like holy water or something. And he was going to like just, you know, melt or whatnot, turn into like, you know, blood. But they just...
That's what like the mom did. That's what I was thinking was going to happen.
They had him burn like fucking Jason in Part 7. Like that was a really good scene, man. I really like that.
A great death. A great scene, but not my favorite.
No, definitely. Oh, well, my favorite is... I'm going to just say it right now, my favorite is the last one in the movie. But...
Okay, well, my favorite's not the last one.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking
about. My favorite is Samantha's.
Yes.
We have seen her, you know, lusting after Bronco. At one point, she has him tied up, you know, ready to fucking take advantage of. Yeah, completely hogtied. And then, like, Nick, like, busts through the fucking wall.
With a meat cleaver.
and it just goes. It's so funny how fast she like goes from being like, oh, a love interest of Broncos to be like trying to seduce Nick.
Yeah.
At that moment, also, it's like an instant switch to being like, oh, this is how we're gonna start a relationship. It's. I love this character Samantha so much, man. Just hypersexual and shit.
Yeah. It's literally chopping through a wall. She's like dancing.
She's like humping the air. Like she's doing. She's awesome.
He just walks up to her and just buries the fucking
cleaver.
Yeah, just right in the skull.
Hey, that's no way to start a meaningful
Hi.
relationship.
and then he decapitates her.
That's the best. Dude.
Even that
It's
cut
so
is really
awesome.
good. They have the bowling
is
ball
good.
fucking sound in the background too. The bowling pins falling. It's just great dark comedy, right? And because I guess how many Australian horror movies? We say this every time. How many Australian horror movies can you think of? Like not that many. I can't name that many. And for
Maybe
it to
5 on the top of my head.
yeah, like for it to make it over here, it has to be like somewhat good. And I feel like this is really a sleeper when it comes to tapes. Like I'm sure you could go on eBay right now and get this tape for fucking under $10, right?
100%, I think. Yeah. A dime a dozen, dude.
This is I don't even know where the fuck I was going with that, but this is like a sleeper and a half, dude, for real.
It is. And I said that too because I was like, I randomly picked this. We had never seen it. We just knew we needed an extra day for this month. And I was like, dude, the name Outback Vampires, I saw it on a list. I was like, let's just fucking do it. And then I'm watching it and I'm like, this is my favorite movie I've watched this entire fucking month. It's way better than I've ever given it credit for. Cause like you said, I've held this tape in my hand hundreds of times. I've sold it at conventions a bunch. I would never even think because it's not named Outback Vampires on the tape that we have here in the U.S.
Yeah,
it's named The Wicked. That name sucks,
and the cover sucks.
That motherfucker, and it does. The cover does suck. If it fucking said Outback Vampires with some crazy fucking picture of the family or something on it, I would never have skipped that. I would have watched that 100% because I love Australian fucking movies. They just crack me up. But The Wicked, I'm not fucking.
Yeah, you don't even know what the hell it is. You don't even know what it's about.
I'm telling you, it's 100% a fucking sleeper because this movie deserves so much credit for being as good as it is on a TV movie budget. Fucking incredible.
Now, if that didn't convince you, my favorite death in the movie.
Seriously, yeah.
When Sir Alfred finally meets his death, he finally meets his demise by the hands of Lucy. Well, at the hands of Lucy when she's throwing pieces of bone, which is a really cool lore addendum. I don't know if that's like for all vampires, but you could only kill him. Well, I guess it's not for all, but you could only kill him by like impaling him with the bone of one of his victims.
That is a cool.
That's
I did
a
like that
cool
aspect
vampire rule.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really like that. But they end up breaking these bones into like knife-sized pieces for Lucy to throw because, as you know, in the beginning, she says she's an expert. You actually do see her throw a knife, and it is very impressive. But she's throwing the bone at a fucking levitating Sir Alfred, and
He's become like a zombie Sir Alfred at this point.
Yeah,
too.
he looks awesome here. Yeah, and at one point he's like gigantic because they have like a dummy that he picks up and throws. That's supposed to be Bronco or Nick, and it like looks really fucking funny. But
so good.
She finally fucking hits him, and Jesus Christ, this is fucking awesome.
I love the sound effects here too.
So she lines him up, throws it, miss. The townsfolk are all watching now.
Going somewhere, Sir Alfred?
I've done it.
Give my regards to hell, lover boy.
This shit.
Yeah, the fucking black tar falls down. So she hits him
Dude,
with
that
the
sound
knife.
he make.
Yep, she hits him with the bone chunk, and he explodes like a fucking balloon filled with shit. And he just goes, ah! And he just explodes. I'm telling you, you have to see the video of it.
God,
you
dude.
have to see it actually. Like, the scene is so funny. The explosion.
It's longer than that too.
Yeah.
Like she throws a few more before that. He's like floating around, dodging them and shit.
But the explosion is so abrupt and so like violent, but there's no like real gut. It's like, I don't know. It's so odd. It's great. It is such like a funny ending to this dude because it's just over in an instant, right? Like there's no like drawn out thing or whatever. It's not, he just fucking explodes, like pops like a balloon, and that's it. It's like, oh,
It's perfect.
okay. And actually, I like the end. Bronco got bit by the bird at one point, and at the very end, he's working on the car that they're trying to escape in. And when they like look over, he has turned into a vampire bird also. It's like, hey, can I get some blood? What do you say? Blood covered bird seed, right?
Yeah, that was the line. So dumb, dude.
And that's the end of the movie. Yeah,
amazing movie. Dude.
this movie is 1000% highly recommended. If you could watch this with a group of people, you would have a great time. This is like an awesome like group watch. Definitely like if you're like drinking or doing whatever, smoking, whatever. This movie is 100% like made for that.
This is a good one.
If you're into, Peter Jackson movies, this is right up your alley. If you like Dead End Driving, this is right up your alley. If you like fucking Body Melt, this is right up your fucking alley. If you like Dead End, this is right up your alley. Like it literally has all these pieces from all these movies, not necessarily on purpose, just things that it reminds us of. And it's like a really good package. It's really put together well. The story is easy. There's not too much going on. It's pretty straightforward. There's a resolution to it. It has a happy-ish ending.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah, it's
great one-liner to finish it off. It's good, man.
Yeah, and I really don't have any complaints. Movie said it was an hour 28. I think the actual movie itself was about an hour 23.
Perfect time.
Didn't feel long. It didn't feel like a drag. It gets right into it. Right, like from the start, like you start meeting some weird fucking people. Our main characters are really likable. Even Bronco, who's fucking obnoxious. Like he's also like
part of it, dude.
Yeah, he's a likable dude too. He's not like nobody is completely useless. It's not one of those things where like just this one dude is beating everybody's ass and everybody else is kind of just fucking a sack of shit. Yeah, it's like no, like everybody's got their place. Everybody fucking is able to handle themselves. Everybody gets themselves mostly out of the situations, but
they're all funny enough on their own, and together they're fucking hilarious. Like those three, as like the main cast going into this, really sets this movie up in a great way.
Well, something that they did that I really think is pretty difficult is you don't want to see them die.
Yeah,
you want to see them come out the other side. Like you want to see them be successful, and it's really hard to do that. Like. In all the Friday the 13th movies, maybe part two is the only one that like there's people that you can actually stand. Part 3, everybody's kind of an asshole. Part 4, they like kill pretty much everybody that like,
You're right. It's hard
5,
to
6,
like
7,
really
8.
create a sympathetic character in a good horror movie where you root for them. Because most of the time I find them obnoxious anyways. And like, I'm always root for the bad guy type. But with this movie, I'm like, nah, dude, like I want Bronco, Lucy, and fucking Nick to fucking, get the fuck out of this. And like, I want them to all be intact when they leave, and even though fucking Bronco's a bird vampire, it's still like, it works for me.
It like ends on a positive note for some, like it feels positive for some reason. Like it's kind of just like,
maybe it's the one liner,
Yeah.
Like, he wants the bird seed. Right.
Yeah. It's like, oh, whatever. But I really do recommend this movie. You could get this fucking VHS for cheap as fuck, probably. The Wicked. It's got like a black cover, right, with like a vampire mouth on it. It's really like unassuming looking. The Outback Vampires VHS cover is far better. It looks awesome. It looks like the same person who did the Vampire Nights cover did this, and like the same person that did Death by Dialogue. They all have like a similar art style, which is kind of funny to me.
It kind of reminded me of like the Saturday the 14th. Fucking artwork as well a little bit.
Yeah, I see where you're talking with that. And what's that other one, like like Castle of the Living Dead or whatever, that like wizard tape? There's like the woman,
the wizard one.
There's like the woman that's like in that position. It looks very similar, but Highly recommended. You could find this on YouTube, right? It's on there as Outback Vampires or The Wicked. I think it's under The Wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
it's
Wicked.
it's on there. 1987. Pretty quick watch, but it's definitely worth it. 100%. 2 thumbs up. Says
Not a boring scene in the movie. You'll move right through it, and you'll enjoy everything. So
yeah, and that's it, man. That wraps up this vampire month. We did another one. We're really digging deep now. I'm glad that we're finding this shit that we've never watched before. And you know, most of it is pretty watchable. The Wicked was good. Vampire's Embrace was good. Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter. I enjoyed it. You didn't really, but yeah, everybody loves Blade besides you.
Vampire Vixens, I loved.
That was another good one. I think I feel like I misremembered this month. I actually liked everything that we fucking did.
Good time.
I would watch everything we watched this month again, no problem. Like I think everything has rewatchability to it. To me, that's my opinion. So you know, those of you who, what do you want to say? Like those of you who tend to agree with me, you probably
lean Mike's way.
Yeah, you probably will like that. If you hear like a buzzing in the background, people fly those. You ever see those like one-seated like airplanes that like people build themselves?
Oh yeah.
People fly those all over the fucking place around here, and especially at night. And I have no idea why. They like around here, they're always in my fucking area. And like you just hear, it sounds like a helicopter, but not as loud. It's very strange.
Dude, I just thought you were heating up your fucking post-show fucking hot pocket already. I was like, damn, he's fucking getting on, isn't he?
No. But Grizz, you know, I kind of want to do something different. Instead of just telling people what we're doing next week, I'm going to make a post. Maybe by Thursday, and I'm going to tell everybody what we're doing for the whole month. How about that? How about I put out a little schedule for us for the holiday season?
Great idea.
We're going to be doing all possession movies. Now, I'm going to put like the little asterisk there. It's not just going to be movies like The Exorcist, like demonic possession in that sort of way. We're going to try to vary things around. Of course, there's going to be movies like that. There's 2 definitely that are. But we're going to try to vary shit a bit. Some new, some old. Some things you may have seen, some things you might not have seen. It's going to be
a great mix, man. I'm actually more
fun.
Excited about this coming month than I was about Vampire Month. This is going to be a lot of fun.
We don't do a terrible amount of movies that really have anything to do with that. Not many possession movies in that sense. Definitely no, like we haven't done The Exorcist. We really haven't done any movies like that in that vein. I'm excited. It's a whole untapped subgenre that we're about to get into, and I'm pretty fucking pumped. Plus, we're running out of vampire films, so
it's a good time to end.
we need some time to recoup our restock the library. So Grizz, I think it's time we head over to the wide world of metal. What do we have this week?
I mean, we have a band that is honestly coming straight for your boy's heart, dude. They fucking get it. This band obviously loves horror, and they obviously love weed. And I mean, I think if anybody knows me, they would explain that that's me in a nutshell. Like that's who I am. So, with that being said, we are covering the band Scissor Hash and their latest release, Hash Slinging Slashers. And man, what sold me besides the fucking great name was the amazing cover to this album. And I showed it to you and you're like, yeah, that's the one we're doing.
Yeah. I like put it on and like I heard the first couple chords and I looked at the artwork. I'm like, yeah, that's what we're fucking doing.
100%.
So the cover art of this is based on the shot on video classic Things, the Canadian Things. So why don't we let this first one rip?
Yeah, let's just play the clip.
Just so they could see the artwork also if you're watching on our YouTube. But what is the name of this song?
This one is Bong Resin Blunt Cruise. I love that. That's fucking fucking bass tone, dude. Two-man group as well. Just the two of them.
Two-person group, it looks like. Not two-man.
No, there's two guys.
It is? I thought that was a female in the background. That's awesome. I think he's wearing a Friday the 13th Part 3 shirt or Part 4 shirt in the background.
You know, this is really I love gore grind, and they do it such a good job of it, man. Simple, great bass tones, the fucking the high pitched fucking snare on there and shit, dude. Man. It's everything that I love about that music. The gurgly vocals are spot on. They're not like overly done. They're like there is a good amount of effect on them, but like, man, it's still heavy as fuck. Where it's like, yeah, this is still badass without being extreme.
Now, I of course am a Mortician fan for life.
Yeah,
the buzzsaw sub bass will always be my favorite thing. But goddamn, the modern fucking like gore grind, slam fucking bass is just
it rules,
chef's
dude.
kiss. Yeah, that was the first thing I noticed was like, wow, it has that real like low end to it, and it's like you could feel it even when you're not listening to it with a you don't have a sub or whatever, like you could still feel it. It's like they nailed that shit. The production value of this album, what is it, 5 songs?
Yeah, 5 songs. That one we just heard, Bub, Bong Resin Blunt Cruise. We got stuff like Bong Water Enema Accident, Jesus is my co-pilot and we're cruising for dead chicks, Cannibal Necromancy. I'm gonna kill James Gordon with a stick. I mean, these are fucking fantastic song names. And we had a music video, but the file got corrupted on us or whatever. But it was for the Jesus is my co-pilot song, and the whole music video was just the two of these dudes making water hash and smoking blunts. And I was like, dude, this is the best fucking music video of all time. So if you look it up on YouTube, you can check out the Jesus is my co-pilot and we're cruising for dead chicks fucking music video.
What a band. I love this. Dude, I think they're my new favorite. Well, no, dude, Acid Masters are number 1, but these guys I think might be my number 2 at this point. Because
this is a band I'm going to be reaching out to for sure, man.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the genre. I like when people like really put their own spin on it. Like, I'm sure that's like, these guys look like a bunch of fucking like fun dudes. Like, they don't take it too seriously. Cause that's the one thing, like with Mortician, like Will Romer took that shit seriously. Dude, like hyper serious. Like,
I'm friends with him on Facebook. That motherfucker is serious as a heart attack, bro.
Yeah,
always.
man. Yeah. And like, I feel like some people are serious to a fault where it becomes ridiculous and you become a meme. You know what I mean? And like that, you probably don't want that if you're trying to put off that vibe. But like,
don't get me wrong, Mortician is life. Like, don't get this skewed. We fucking love you, Will.
A number 1. I wish Will Romer was fucking. I was related to him in some sort of way. But these people, they seem like they're just having fun. They're not taking it too seriously. The music is fucking awesome, and that's what makes it even better. Is like when it's
done right and dialed the fuck in like this.
Yeah,
man.
and like you could, I assume this is, their personality is in this music too, which, you can't beat that, man. Like you're doing it from the heart.
And the deep cut of pulling the fucking Things cover and remaking it with the fucking hash tools and stuff. Man, I saw that and I was like, this is fucking genius, dude.
Like,
they get it. Like, these motherfuckers get it, dude.
We're fucking up, man. That could have been us.
I know. Yeah.
That could have been fucking us.
That's exactly what I thought. I was like, why did I not do this? Like, what the fuck is
wrong with me? I had a whole album for us. I don't know what happened. Oh yeah, that's right. Dude. I can't remember how to play the shit that I recorded. So
it's my problem.
Yeah, I guess we'll start over. But Grizz, give me a last plug on these dudes, cause
oh man, definitely you got to check out fucking Scissor Hash. This album, the Hash Slinging Slashers. I can't say enough good things about the music itself. They look like fucking fun party dudes. Check out their Bandcamp, hit them up on YouTube, and check out that music video for Jesus is My Co-Pilot, and We're Cruising for Dead Chicks, because that song is fucking fantastic.
I'm gonna laugh every time you fucking say that. I don't know. We come from a time where like you could listen to Anal Cunt and like people wouldn't harass you. You know? I'm sorry, I just can't stop laughing at that. But Grizz, I think that just about wraps it up for this week, this month. I'm not going to say this year yet. We're getting close to this year, man. We're getting close. But where could they find you on the internet?
You can find me on Instagram at Kane_enabler.
And you can find me at Bad Taste Video, and you can find everything we do at www.badtastevideo.com. Please join us every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@badtastevideopodcast, where we record this live. So any of the clips that you may be hearing at home, you could actually see them. And even if you don't see it live, you could still go to the YouTube channel and check out our previous streams, unlike Twitch that would get rid of them after 2 weeks. Fuck you.
This is so much better. I didn't even think of that.
They almost threw us off once, but it was only for like 30 seconds. So, they kind of like they flashed the lights at us. Like they did the old, cut the shit. Stop showing
blade clips. Stop showing
But also we have a Patreon that's linked through our fucking website, where if you subscribe, you may be able to find some things that you can't find online. But that's neither here nor there, because Grizz, we are going into demonic December. No, because I know it's not necessarily that. I can't even think.
December to remember.
I'm gonna have to think of something that has to do with possession in December. I'll get there.
We'll get there.
But thank you everybody in the chat. Alan Cantation, thank you for coming as always. Thank you also for help with our website. He is the man, also a Jackson disciple, right? He is one of us.
The crew.
He owns a Jackson. Yeah. Let me know. Do you own a Jackson? Do you have a crackle?
Is that what he has?
I believe he does. Does it have a crackle finish? Are you really part of the crew? Because me and you both have I have a red mercury crackle. You have the blue
lightning.
Blue lightning. Join the club, everybody. Jackson Guitars sponsor us. That'd be great. I'd really appreciate that.
The only horror podcast with guitar sponsors.
Dude, I need a sponsorship from Jackson Guitars, an energy drink company, Marlboro, and possibly Wizards of the Coast for Magic the Gathering.
I love the idea of having like Philip Morris be a sponsor of ours.
Yeah. It's like, what's up? What's up, dude?
We're like, yo, motherfuckers, we're old school. Smoke cigarettes. Funniest shit.
Dude, this is like off topic now, but my dad. Alan Cantation says he has a green wavy something. Good enough, man. You're still in.
You're getting there.
My dad gives me like random shit that he finds that's like old, because he knows that I'm into a lot of like the old board games and things like that. And he gives me a copy of Operation. Now, have you ever seen the original cover of Operation?
I have, maybe. I don't even know.
So this copy,
or something?
No. I wish, but this is I guess I think it was from the late '60s or the mid '60s, whatever. The fucking doctor has a cigarette hanging out of his mouth, a lit cigarette. Dude. My dad's like, you know how you know this is old? I'm like, no, how? He goes, and points to the
doctor
cigarette.
Smoking a stogie, bro.
I was cracking up. I'm like, I could just picture like a fucking like 6-year-old version of my dad with that like fucking sitting there. Everything's like lead.
My doctor is.
Everything's lead paint, all that shit. Your house is basically made of fucking. It's just a tinder box ready to go up. What do they call that shit? The what's that old wiring? The ball and socket or whatever the hell.
Oh, dude, and it's like, dude, the fucking insulation with horsehair too. Yeah, houses were built to fucking kill you back in the day, man.
If the disease did it, the house would.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to thank everybody for coming. Like I said, check out the Instagram this week. I'm going to put up a schedule for December so you can get ready. Hopefully a majority of this shit, I'm pretty sure most of it will be accessible via Tubi or Shudder or whatever. I don't think there's anything that's really unwatchable here. But we'll make sure
No,
we
yeah,
can.
yeah, we're good. I'm thinking of
Yeah.
everything that we talked about. Yeah.
Yeah, we should be good. So I want to thank everybody for coming. We will see you next week. And join us live for some Possession December to remember. Goodbye.